time. It's always vanishing. The commute, the errands, the work functions, the meetings, selling your car. Unless you sell your car with Carvana. Get a real offer in minutes. Get it picked up from your door. Get paid on the spot. So fast, you'll wonder what the catch is. There isn't one. We just respect you and your time. Oh, you're still here? Move along now. Enjoy your day. Sell your car today.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Living Daily. Further Adventures in My War on Stuff by J.D. Roth of GetRichSlowly.org. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you articles every day of the year. So with that, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Further Adventures in My War on Stuff by J.D. Roth of GetRichSlowly.org. Longtime readers of Get Rich Slowly know that I've been waging an ongoing battle against stuff. The clutter and I managed to collect during my 20 years of wanton spending and debt. Though I've managed to curb my spending and have slowed the influx of stuff, I'm still surrounded by constant reminders of my old habits. Last week, Colleen wrote to ask for an update on this seemingly endless war. Quote, I was wondering if you would update us soon on your battle with stuff. I, along with others, I'm sure, struggle with this, and reading your blog has been a great help. I'm curious how you've progressed since the last post when you decided to clean the workshop, end quote. I'm pleased to report that over the past 2 months, I've launched a number of successful campaigns to take control of clutter. There's still much work to be done, but I can finally envision a future that isn't filled with useless stuff. Here are a few examples of my progress. Guarding the guest room. On Saturday, Chris and I spent several hours cleaning our quote-unquote guest room. I put guest room in quotes because for the past 2 years, it's been incapable of housing guests. Instead, it's been a home for my photography equipment, Chris's cooking magazines, my board game collection, upcoming Christmas gifts, and more. It's just a holding place for stuff. This weekend, we decided we'd had enough. We sorted and purged. We cleaned. We rearranged the furniture. The toughest part for me was culling my board game collection. I had to admit that although we used to play board games once a week or more, we're now lucky to play them once a year. I don't need 50 board games. In fact, I'm sure that next September I'll be wondering why I kept 25 board games. After a few hours of work, we managed to turn a dumpy, useless room into an actual guest room. We also managed to move all of the science fiction books and comic books into the guest room, freeing up space elsewhere in the house. Conquering the closet. In June, based on a GRS reader suggestion, I set up a year-long experiment. I moved all of my nice shirts and sweaters from the hall closet to the guest room closet. Whenever I need something, I go to the hall closet first. If what I need is there, I wear it. If not, I pull it from the closet in the guest bedroom. After I've worn something and it's been cleaned, it's hung in the hall closet. After a year has elapsed, the guest bedroom will contain a bunch of clothes I have not worn for 12 months. I'll take these things to Goodwill. Note, there's a subtle side benefit of doing this. When I can't find what I want in the hall closet, checking the guest room closet is very much like shopping. This may sound crazy, but it's true. Same feelings. This trick is awesome. It's surprisingly liberating. When I open the hall closet, there are only a handful of shirts, the 8 shirts I wear most often. This makes me realize that most of the other 25 plus shirts hanging in the guest room are nothing but clutter. I can't evaluate the sweaters yet because the cold weather hasn't arrived. Still, I think it's safe to assume I don't need 19 of them. Waging war in the workshop. My biggest victory so far, one that I hope to finally achieve later today, has been the reclamation of my workshop. When we moved into this house 5 years ago, I had dreams of learning carpentry in the shop or converting it to a photo studio or something. Instead, the workshop became a dumping ground for all the I'd managed to accumulate and continued to accumulate. At the beginning of this summer, the building was packed to the gills with computer parts, record albums, magazines, and boxes of useless junk. After weeks of slow progress, however, I've managed to reduce the mess to a single bench. It'll take me several hours to sort these last few difficult piles, but once I do, the workshop will be a homey place to pursue my hobbies. Fighting the good fight. Though I've achieved some major victories in recent months, my war against stuff is not over. There are some tough battles ahead, but I'm a veteran now. I'm confident that I'll emerge victorious. It seems like I always end these posts with a list of lessons learned. Today is no different. Here are some of the things I've been thinking about lately. Number 1, the best way to fight the battle against stuff is to prevent new stuff from entering your home. If you continue to acquire new stuff, you just make it that much more difficult to turn things around. It was difficult for me to learn that free stuff is rarely actually free. Number 2, it's best to convert your stuff to cash, no matter how little that cash might be. I used to think I had to get what my stuff was worth. This is a great idea, and I encourage those who have time to do so, but extracting maximum value from stuff requires a lot of effort. I'd much rather sell my stuff on Craigslist or on eBay or at a garage sale. Number 3, don't be afraid to give your stuff away. Though it's best to get money for it, there's nothing wrong with donating your stuff to charity or giving it to friends who can use it. One man's stuff is another man's treasure, or something like that. Number 4, if it's possible to outsource your stuff, then do so. Why should I own thousands of books when there's a public library down the street? Why buy DVDs when I can use Netflix? Why purchase CDs when I can buy songs through iTunes? By outsourcing my stuff, there's less clutter in the house. However, number 5, beware. Digital stuff can be almost as insidious as physical stuff. I have thousands of digital photographs, tens of thousands of MP3s, legal MP3s, 20 plus years of Word and text documents, as well as a vast array of other data. This digital stuff is nearly impossible to organize. If possible, organize your digital stuff as you go. And number 6, focus on quality. Sometimes there's a thin line between stuff that is stuff and stuff that is useful. The difference often comes down to quality. I've learned that I'd much rather pay more for quality that will last a lifetime, or most of one anyhow, than to save a bit now but end up with stuff later. When I started this battle 2 years ago, it was difficult for me to imagine getting rid of any of my stuff. At that time, I had over 3,000 books. Since then, I've managed to trim my library by more than half. But this didn't happen all at once. Every 6 months or so, I get rid of another batch of books. Purging stuff is like peeling the layers of an onion. You gradually shed layer after layer after layer. As you strip away the trappings of your old life, you come to realize that all you really need are the bare essentials. Everything else is just stuff. You just listened to the post titled, Further Adventures in My War on Stuff by J.D. Roth of GetRichSlowly.org, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
So good, so good, so good.
New fall arrivals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Get ready to save big with up to 60% off Vince, Kurt Geiger London, and more.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Because there's always something new.
Join the Nordy Club at Nordstrom Rack to unlock exclusive discounts on your favorite brands. Shop new arrivals first and more. Plus, get an extra 5% off every Rack purchase with a Nordstrom credit card. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs are here, and it's a big deal. Why? Because Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are newly designed to help you do more, faster. It's pretty amazing what they can do in a day's work. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations. They can even extend your battery life so you never have to worry about forgetting your charger. It's like having a personal assistant built right into your PC to cover the menial tasks so you can focus on what matters. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. With deals on Dell AI PCs like the Dell 16 Plus starting at $749.99, it's the perfect time to refresh your tech and take back your time. Upgrade your AI PC today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals. Thank you to JD. That strategy that he did for his clothes is definitely something suggested before on the show, and I personally like it. I think one of the best ways to convince ourselves that we don't need something is to put it somewhere else and then set a reminder so that after a certain amount of time, probably a max of 1 year, if those items that were put away haven't been touched, well, then you can let them go. Of course, there'll be some exceptions, maybe sentimental clothing or clothing for a special occasion. But for the daily stuff, it's a great test. For me, a while back, it was DVDs. Tough to let go in the beginning, but I really rarely use them, if ever. So I got rid of probably 95% of them. The other ones are my top favorites, and they actually do get used. For everything else, it's usually available online if I need it. And the more we do this, the better we get at it. So it's worth trying. And with that, thank you for being here and trying these things along with me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.